Do you remember 1935? Well, I don't either. But in that year, Professor Richard Borden, who was at New York University, put together a little book on public speaking that still has some really good points, 4 of which I would like to share with you today that might help your teaching, your lectures, your presentations, or your speeches. So let's jump right in and look at the foreword and see what Borden has to say. The principles in this text are formulated by the greatest living authority on public speaking, the man who listens to you. Oh, okay, it was 1935. Mercifully, and thank heaven, we now have women in our audiences. So let's forget that part, but do jump in to the 4 points that he makes that are still really good and relevant today. Number 1, be brief. If you have an hour, take 45 minutes. Give your listeners the chance to ask questions, to engage. We've all been in that audience where the speaker drones on, and you just want to fade away and fall asleep. Yeah. Point number 2, give lived examples from your experiences or from experience of folks that you know. He notes here on page 53, there's a 2-word formula that is so potent it applies to the body of all speeches. So magic are the 2 words of this formula that if you repeat them about once every 10 sentences, the body of every speech you make must be interesting. These magic 2 words, for instance. Of course, if you apply this formula without adequate preparation, you'll get into trouble. About the 3rd time you say, for instance, you may clap your hand to your head and ask, for instance, what? Having forgotten the example. So be prepared, have concrete examples in advance. Point number 3, be sincere. He gives a quick story about ancient Rome. In the ancient days, Roman sculptors sometimes sought to conceal the surface cracks in a statue with the aid of melted beeswax. A buyer was deceived into believing he was purchasing a flawless piece of marble and then would place that statue proudly in the atrium. A few weeks later, the wax dries out and the cracks were exposed. Such alarming proportion did this practice of wax trickery grow, it finally became custom for reputable sculptors to guarantee their works as sincera, literally translated, without wax. Obviously, our word today of sincere stems from that. He notes, beeswax tricked the ancient Romans, but word wax never tricked anybody. It's instantly recognized and thoroughly despised by all listeners. So, some good words there. Be sincere, be yourself, and deliver your talk in that manner. 4th point, use your whole body to speak. He gives a quick story on baseball. When a good baseball pitcher delivers the ball, he does not deliver it with his fingers alone. He delivers it with his arm, his shoulders, his muscles of his abdomen, his legs, and his brain. A good speaker, likewise, does not deliver with his voice alone. He delivers it with his body, his hands, his face, his eyes, his emotions, his intellect. This is the master law of good delivery. Deliver with the full resources of your personality. Deliver with both your listener's ears and his eyes in mind. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope some of our lessons from 1935 still resonate. So thanks so much for listening. Take care.